British government is pushing forward with plans for a national digital ID system. They've called it the BRITCARD. And if that name doesn't send a chill down your spine, you have not been paying attention. I'm Bev Turner and this is GB News Originals. Don't forget to subscribe to the GB News YouTube channel, please. Now let's call it what it really is. The BRITCARD is not about making your life easier. It's about making you easier to track, control and punish if you step out of line across whatever line of the day is deemed important. They've wrapped it up in slick PR language about streamlining services and enhancing security and making sure that the Windrush scandal never happens again, because people who are allowed to live here will have the proof that they do so. They're also telling you all through the press that this will stop people coming over here on small boats. That is patently untrue. It isn't just about proving who you are online. That all sounds rather lovely. This is about building a centralised, state-controlled digital identity system that could be used, will be used, to link your finances, your medical history, your travel movements, your social media activity, even your social activity in real life and more. It's quite frankly a digital dog tag, and once it's clipped around your neck, you will not be able to take it off. So let's start with the basics. What is this BRITCARD? According to leaked briefings and government statements, and frankly any of us who've been paying attention knew this was coming, the BRITCARD is going to act as a unified digital identification that every British citizen can use to access public services to prove their identity and eventually, though they won't say this part out loud, link with your banking, your health and your travel movements. They're calling it optional for now, but we've heard that line before. Remember vaccine passports? Yes, I do. They started as a temporary solution, but within weeks you couldn't get into a pub or fly abroad without one. Make no mistake, the BRITCARD is the foundation of a surveillance state. Once in place, it will become incredibly easy to expand, quietly, incrementally, until it is essential for anything you want to do. You want to apply for a job? BRITCARD. Rent a flat? BRITCARD. Take a train? You guessed it. BRITCARD. And once that is normal, it is no longer this so-called card. It is a digital chain. It is invisible, but it is ironclad. The sales pitch, of course, for this is it's all about security and efficiency. The government's narrative is all very slick, and they will say this is to reduce fraud. They'll tell you it'll make accessing NHS services easier or help you prove who you are when applying for benefits. All of that sounds great until you realise what you're giving up in return. A centralised ID like the BRITCARD will track everything you do. So when you check in to the GP surgery, the government will know. When you make a payment, when you log into a website, when you get on a train, imagine a digital record of your daily life monitored by both public and private entities. Your movements, your choices, your health, and critically, your opinions. This is not hypothetical. This technology exists. It will be easy to implement. The motivation to make it happen exists. And the right pretext, I don't know, another pandemic, a financial crisis, a spike in online hate speech, you will be told this is all for your own good. And if you think this ends with digital ID, I've got a bridge to sell you. The front pages of the papers this week were telling you, as though you're idiots, that a BRITCARD will stop people coming over on small boats seeking asylum, refuge, or being an economic migrant, because those people can often escape into the black market economy, working without the state knowing anything about them. Well, the state is already meant to know about them. If they're being given jobs, they should have the papers to secure that job. The BRITCARD won't make any difference to that at all. It will not operate as a deterrent to people who want to come across to this wonderful country. So just ignore that when you're being sold that idea. Let's also not forget that we are already seeing the slow creep of programmable money. The Bank of England is working on a digital pound and has been for a few years. And there are active conversations now about linking spending capabilities to your digital identity. That means if your ID is flagged, limited or suspended, I don't know, because maybe you said some hurty words on social media, that will mean you can't access your own money. Just let that sink in. The government already has a proven track record of making life extremely difficult for people who don't toe their very narrow line. From freezing protesters' bank accounts to threatening censorship online, the precedent is clear. Give power-hungry bureaucrats without sufficient conscience or imagination a system like BRITCARD, and you're handing these idiots the keys to your digital life. And just wait until it's tied to your carbon tracking or your health data. You didn't recycle this week? Points will be deducted. Bought too much red meat or petrol? Access denied. Did you say something misleading? Perhaps some misinformation? The kind of stuff that you and I would know to be true on social media? Your account will be flagged. If you think that is far-fetched, then you haven't been reading the same websites as me. You just have to go and have a cursory glance to the World Economic Forum website, and it's all there in black and white as an ambition. No vote, no debate, no accountability, no parliamentary scrutiny. This is all happening whilst we are talking about less important things. Now, what makes a BRITCARD so dangerous isn't just what it does, it's how it's being rolled out. There's been no referendum, no meaningful public debate, no mainstream media scrutiny worth mentioning. Everybody just treats this as though it's a fait accompli, and they completely lack the vision or the cynicism to work out what's going on. It's being slid in under the radar, piecemeal, behind closed doors, dressed up as tech innovation. It is classic mission creep. And right now, we're told the BRITCARD will be voluntary. Of course it is. But so was the NHS app. So was that ridiculously expensive 30 billion quid track and trace check-in app. So was digital banking, remember? That would always be optional. Not anymore. Over time, these systems like those evolve from handy options for convenience into non-negotiable requirements. The infrastructure is being built while we're distracted. And once it's in, it's only a matter of flipping a few switches before it becomes mandatory. It isn't mandatory, of course, if you're having to be coerced into using it because you cannot function every day without it. And once we're at that stage, it will be too late to push back. Now, people will say, I hear it a lot, if you have done nothing wrong, Bev, you have nothing to fear. This is the language of tyrants or just deeply naive people who still think the government have their best interests at heart. Your right to privacy is not conditional on your obedience to the government or what society deems the latest omni-trend. You do not have to justify why you want to keep your medical data, your spending habits, or your daily movements about your city or your country or the world, frankly, to yourself. That is called freedom. We are supposed to live in a liberal, Western democracy, not a digital cage in which we can't operate without the permission of bureaucrats at the other end of our telephones. Now, when the state can track you at will, freeze your finances and control access to services based on your compliance, it doesn't matter how well behaved you are. You've already lost the most basic of liberties, the freedom to live without constantly seeking permission to do normal, everyday things. So what can we do? This is the tricky part, but it is necessary. Try as far as possible not to opt in. And I know that's really difficult because we're not quite there yet, but there will be a pushback like there was with vaccine passports. Try not to let your data be captured willingly. Use cash still whenever possible. It's one of the best ways to fight back. It is private, it is anonymous, and it is the antidote to control-based payment systems. Speak to your MP. Demand transparency. Demand a referendum. Demand a say on this. Send them links. Send them this video. Hi. Send them anything that you think will educate your MPs, because they probably also feel similarly about freedom, but maybe they just don't understand the significance of what they are voting through. You need to support independent journalism as well. and tech alternatives. Big tech is part of the problem. We need decentralized platforms, not government monitored IDs. And talk to your mates, talk to your family. Make sure this isn't like vaccine passports where everyone was a little bit awkward and didn't know whether we should bring it up over Sunday lunch in case somebody at the table hadn't taken a state mandated injection. Talk about digital ID. Ask people, do you know what the BRITCARD is? Do you know what it will do? Do you know what the implications are? It's such an important conversation. It's literally the most important conversation that we should be having at this time. Because once the BRITCARD becomes part of daily life, resistance will be painted as extremist. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? So speak up now while we still can. Finally, this is about power. The BRITCARD isn't about technology. It's not about convenience. It's not even about illegal immigration, regardless of what they tell you. It is about power. Who has it, who controls it, and who loses it. If we let our MPs, cheered on by tech companies, push this through without a fight, it won't be long